Welcome back. You're watching us here on Halftime Report. We're coming to you live from the Global Leadership Summit. And as we speak, there has been a stellar recovery which is underway from the lows. The Nifty is up over 100 points. And, a couple of these financials, they deserve mention right now. Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv for one. Big spike is what we've seen over the last few minutes. So the intraday chart of Bajaj Finserv comes up for you and Bajaj Finance. Also, we are seeing good traction in a couple of these life insurance names. So we have HDFC Life, which has done well. We have SBI Life, which is spiking as well. And we have a decent traction on something like Eicher Motors as well. In fact, the top sectoral gainer right now in terms of the, up move at the day's high is actually the Nifty auto space. And don't lose sight of Britannia as well, where the conference call is currently underway. Stock did well yesterday on account of appointment of Rakshit Hargave. And thereafter, we've seen an up move even now. But let's go back to the conversation that's taking place inside here at the Global Leadership Summit.
Other laws that that already are there in the law books to actually figure out how to address these concerns. And if at all there is a requirement, we will tweak the existing laws and rules. And beyond that, if there is a need at an appropriate stage, we'll legislate. But today, the emphasis is fundamentally on innovation. The emphasis is on making sure that innovation is given adequate play in the AI space so that we can harness the benefit of this technology and at the same time guard against whatever harms can come up.
You know, Mr. Krishnan, you said innovation several times there, and you also said that we have existing laws to deal with problems that may arise on account of the AI adoption and AI rollout. So would it be fair then, sir, to say that at this point in time, the government doesn't feel that there is a need for a dedicated AI regulation?
I would say that we don't need a dedicated legislation today, now. But I will not say that no legislation is required for all times. We will have to see how it plays out, and we will, at an appropriate stage, if there is a need, we will come up with a suitable legislation.
Okay, so no legislation just yet. But, sir, the focus of the AI framework is essentially on self-regulation. While industry will welcome that, it often also leads to, problems because there's a lack of clarity on obligations, and ambiguity and regulatory uncertainty often crop up. Is that something that you're worried about? Is that a concern?
I think we will discuss with industry. We will, nothing of this sort will go without adequate discussion with the industry in terms of what needs to happen. And if there is any room for ambiguity, if there is any room for doubt, we will make sure that all such ambiguities are set at rest.
Okay, that's good to hear. But I want to shift focus now to talk a little bit about the AI mission. A lot of the conversations here at the Global Leadership Summit have focused on that, Mr. Krishnan. The Indian government has expanded the scope of the AI mission from 10,000 crores now to about 20,000 crores. But that pales in comparison to what we're seeing countries like the US, etc., spend in excess of $400 billion, $500 billion. Is this going to be enough, Mr. Krishnan?
See, I think you need to understand one thing very clearly. The capex or the expenditure that we are talking about under the India AI mission is expenditure that the government is incurring. This is intended to be a catalytic investment. It's not intended to be the only investment. And it's not, and investments even in the government sector on AI could come from other sources as well, from other parts of the budget, other efforts that we are taking up. So that is one part of the story. The other part of the story is the numbers that you are quoting for the US and other geographies really are about private sector investment, corporate investment, etc. And not all of the US investment that you are mentioning, the $400 billion, is necessarily taking place in the United States. It's of global companies, technology companies based in the US and the investments that they are likely to make. And some of those investments are taking place in other geographies, including India. And you've seen there have been some big announcements of data centers and other investments related to AI by US technology giants in India. So I think you have to figure out that it would not be very correct to compare what we are spending on the India AI mission, which is entirely government's effort, with the other broader investment numbers which are being announced by companies, which represent their global spend and which also represent not the government effort in that case.
No, fair point that you make that there is a significant private sector investment, but you alluded to one big headline number and one big headline investment. Google recently announced a $15 billion investment in its cloud businesses here in India. In light of that, are you also seeing more interest from other tech companies? Have there been conversations? What do you expect on that front? Could we expect more investment announcements?
There have been other announcements. Other global technology companies have also been speaking about investments in India, and they are making investments.
Okay, we will look forward to hearing those announcements. Mr. Krishnan, we were just talking about the possibility of jobs being replaced, jobs being displaced, and that's become part of the increasing conversation around AI. Now, we've seen companies like TCS reorganize, restructure. It has led to job losses. Globally, companies like Amazon, Salesforce have let go of people, are letting go of people. How concerned is the government with the idea of job replacement and displacement?
You see, this is something that we are watching closely. Our understanding, which we have from the companies we speak to and other industry players, is that the nature of the jobs are changing. They are pivoting on the types of jobs that they are looking at. And they are looking at more jobs in those who create applications of AI and those who do that kind of work, and those who will eventually deploy AI applications. More traditional ITES roles are going out. And therefore, they are retraining their own employees, redeploying them in those areas, and they are recruiting newer people with those skills. So I would say net-net, the impact on employment isn't likely to be as grave, or that is not yet such a cause for serious alarm. I think there are other opportunities which need to be taken up when we are looking at opportunities for our youth. But what is most important is skilling and making sure that we nurture the right kind of talent, and that we also ensure that the newer cohorts which are coming out are equipped for what the market needs today. That is one part. And the second part, those who are already in these kind of jobs are also upskilled and reskilled to meet the changing requirements. I think these are two very crucial things that we'll have to do to make sure that they readjust to the new scenario.
Well, speaking of future opportunities, Mr. Krishnan, PLI, of course, that's gotten a lot of headlines already. But the electronic components scheme, what has the response been like? If you could share that with us for the ECS scheme, sir, and in terms of the approvals for the projects as well?
No, we have, as you know, 249 applications in all. We have taken up an evaluation of those applications as we speak, and which is why we were able to immediately come out with our findings on the 7 applications. The remaining as well, we are working on, and we will be making fresh announcements soon. And this is an ongoing exercise because there's a sense of urgency here. We want the scheme to get grounded quickly. And as you know, the scheme guidelines also state that those who are able to build out first and, they can claim the incentives first. Those who commence production first get the incentive first. And therefore, it's important that we give them their approvals as quickly as possible. So whoever is ready in every sense, the approvals will come.
Well, let's talk about the PLI scheme then. So that's been the big success story for the electronic sector. We've seen record numbers coming in specifically as far as the iPhone export is concerned. But the mobile PLI scheme is now all set to see the sunset on the incentives. Is the government considering an extension? Are you actively looking at that?
We are examining requests from industry for a continuance of the PLI. So we will have internal discussions in government and finalize what our view would be.
Okay, so no clear answer there, but consultations underway. The budget is not very far either, Mr. Krishnan. What is the top priorities that you would like to focus on? What would you be recommending as well in your consultations to the Finance Ministry? AI mission or phase 2 of the semiconductor mission? Which one would you like prioritized?
As you know, I think the ISM 2.0 has been firmly put on the agenda by the Prime Minister himself during the Semicon, and so we are working hard towards it. We also have what we believe are a few other good proposals, and we are also speaking to the Finance Ministry as to what we can take up and give them as our inputs for what needs to come into the budget, which and much of what we would have to suggest would be employment oriented, would also build greater capacities within the country. And I think all of those are important objectives of the government as a whole. And therefore, I hope, like the budget has been in the past years, it will be kind to us this year as well.
Well, we certainly hope it's kind to you, and it's kind to all of us as well, Mr. Krishnan. But, you know, at Semicon, which was not very far away, you had assured that there would be an outlay for phase 2 of the Indian semiconductor mission. Has there been a number that's been finalized, Mr. Krishnan, for phase 2?
It's not for me to reveal that number or state that number yet, nor has it been finally put down saying that this is the number it shall be. But yes, I mean, as I said already, I think my stance would still be the same.
Which will be more than the 10 billion for phase 1, I would imagine. But I know you have another meeting to run to, Mr. Krishnan. So before we let you go, you know, we've got a room full of CEOs. We've also got a lot of young people here, professionals, students, entrepreneurs, startups. What is your message, Mr. Krishnan, to India Inc.?
I think as far as adoption of technology is concerned and making sure that technology informs most of what is done across various enterprises in the country, it's a very important role. It's an almost all hands on board situation we are in right now. We are all committed to this objective of India becoming a developed nation by 2047. Viksit Bharat 2047 is a commitment that we all have. And if we have to grow at that kind of a pace, then all of us have to work together. And it needs to be everybody who participates in this effort to truly take India to that goal. The only route which is available really is through greater adoption of technology across a range of spheres, across various sectors, and in all enterprises. I think that should be the push that we work towards.
Well, Mr. Krishnan, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. We were hoping that you'd be here with us at the GLS, but I know the duty calls. But, you know, we would have liked to see you chat with the winning squad members of the women's cricket team. They're going to be here with us later this evening, as will several other dignitaries, including the actor Deepika Padukone and many others. So thank you very much, Mr. Krishnan, for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the Secretary, MeITY. Thank you very much for joining us from New Delhi for this.
Okay, so high-powered conversation.